Hello, welcome to the tea house. As you can see, we are not in our Guangzhou Expat studio today, but we are in this beautiful tea shop here in Guangzhou, in Pazhou. So today we are going to dive into the culture of Chinese tea and find out how two expats became tea masters in China. So welcome so much to our star guest of the show, Emilie Chung and Jeronimo Toro. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
So when I start to think about Chinese tea and tea lovers, you two are definitely the people that come to my mind.
Thank you.
Please, could you tell me what brought you here, a little bit of your self-introduction, and how did you fall in love with Chinese tea?
I'm French and British, but my father's family is actually from Guangdong. So I came to China actually to learn Chinese. That was my first goal. And at the time I was already an avid tea drinker because my mom is British. And with my dad's family being Chinese, I've always drunk tea in my home. But I didn't know much about tea. I remember the first year I was in China, I was living in Hangzhou and I went to visit Longjing, but I had no clue how to pick the right green tea.
Exactly.
And then I met Jeronimo and things developed from there.
I'm Colombian, so I came from the land of coffee.
Yes, what's about that?
Yeah, I cannot go back to my country anymore because I switched to tea now. But no, I came to China 14 years ago. I came merely to do business. And I spent half of those 14 years actually not liking Chinese tea.
Oh, really?
Very ironic, yeah. I could say I was the anti-ambassador of Chinese tea back then.
So what happened? How does someone come from, anti-ambassador for tea on becoming a tea master and promoting it?
That's precisely the magic of and the amazing part of tea. After I met with Emilie, we both have this curiosity about why Chinese tea was so famous, why everyone is talking about the tea and what is all this fuss about the tea. And then we decided that we just don't know enough. And that's why I thought it was so bad. I thought it was not so good. And then we decided, okay, well, we have to just go and see what it is. We have to study. Let's learn and then give it a try. Right? And that's just the spark that ignited that flame.
I think that's amazing, like having that kind of a little spark and that kind of opening, the doors to the gates of other parts of Chinese culture as well. Like you mentioned the language, calligraphy, getting connected to that kind of community of tea lovers as well. So you mentioned about your studying Chinese tea. How do you study this? Like you read a book, you drink a lot. What is it like?
It's a bit like studying wine. So you take classes and you develop your palate and you learn how to store your tea, like you learn how to store your wine. I mean, I won't go into too many details, but basically, that's how you do it. And you have to study very consistently and drink a lot of tea and hang out with a lot of tea experts to understand where they're coming from, what they really know.
So, if I understood correctly, there is this kind of an exam or a test you have to take to become I don't know the right term, so it's going to take a tea master. So what is that exam like? We study Chinese, we take the HSK test.
Yeah.
So what is the test for, for tea?
We did it, which is many years ago.
6 years.
Yeah, 6 or something years ago. the way is there was 3 levels: beginner, intermediary, and advanced level. And that's for the part that doesn't covers the agricultural part. Because then if you go to the agricultural part, then there is another levels, and it's a completely different thing.
But that's more studied in university, actually.
Yeah, that's more like
okay.
a university,
Wow.
like an
Like an
agricultural
agricultural
studies,
Mm,
right?
wow.
Now, the 3 levels I mentioned, they go in 2 directions. One is the pincha, which is the testing, like the, let's say, sommelier sort of kind of thing. And the other one is the chai, which is like the art,
Okay.
the artistic part, the presentation. We did both, and we reached both, in both we reached the advanced level.
Wow.
The way you do it is that you attend the classes in a certified institution. You go through the courses, and then at the end of each course you have a testing, which is all done in Chinese. And the testing, for instance, on the pincha or the tea testing,
Yeah.
they have very different activities which are very funny and very cool to do, which for example is you will have 20 different cups of tea. They don't tell you which kind of tea,
Yeah.
so you have to say from where, which kind,
Oh wow.
and
You can
assess
also
it.
see the leaves.
Yeah, you
the
cannot
leaves,
see
you
anything,
can
just
only
the
see
soup,
the-
or they will just give you the leaves, and then you have to know where it comes
Oh,
from,
wow.
blah blah blah.
And not just the main category, not it's green or red, but what
Yeah.
region it comes from.
Yeah,
or
correct.
Possibly.
So you're looking at
mountain
the
it comes-
tea leaves and saying, okay, this comes from this part of China.
Yes.
And is this kind of
This
tea,
kind of
and the
tea.
processing to make it is this
Oh,
way,
wow.
etc. And also they will give you teas, and they will you have to do an assessment, and if it's good, if it's not good, if it's not good, why is it not good?
Yeah.
And but you have to do all this.
Well, that's just super fascinating, coming from this like tiny little spark, starting to explore it, Chinese culture, Chinese tea, go into those, taking a test on Chinese tea in Chinese with all the, I imagine everyone else was Chinese, right?
Yes.
Doing that kind of exams.
Yeah.
It's not a very common thing to do.
Yeah.
So now that you have, have your official exams to show it, how does your love for tea show in your daily life? Do you when you go to restaurants, do you take your own tea with you?
Most of the times,
most of the times.
most of the times, when we remember, honestly, yeah, we take it. Now,
You can just step into our house and
Yeah.
there's shelves full of tea.
yeah, there is boxes with
there's
tea where
everywhere.
Okay, so
that's very
I want to
easy.
know, how many teapots do you have
for water,
The
just for
water,
heater,
water
for,
pots.
for heating water.
for heating?
On display at home, there are 5.
Yeah.
So just for
Just
water?
just for heating water, we have 5 on display, and that I remember maybe another 4 or 5
Yeah.
just kept on.
Oh, wow.
And then the smaller teapots, that are not the guy one, but teapots, I
But
think
it's
we have 30.
30?
30 on
And then
display.
Wow.
guy
and
one,
another-
maybe.
So 30 on display and
Yeah.
maybe others.
And guy one, maybe 15. or
Perhaps,
so.
yeah. And cups nearly to 150, 200.
Normally, technically, you're only supposed to use them with one kind of tea.
Ah.
Okay, so not only one category, not just red tea, but like Guangxi red tea or Ingdechioha, like a tea.
Oh, wow.
So as many teas as we have to have teapots. So it's a super excuse. We're like, oh, we don't have a teapot for that tea yet, so we're gonna buy.
So you're buying, your new tea. Okay, yeah, let's try this. Oh wait, we don't have a teapot for
Yeah,
it, so I have to go and buy a
exactly.
new teapot for it.
And also because, as Emilie was explaining, part of the whole, let's say, the tea ceremony of the tea art encompasses the fact that you prepare a set, okay, and you have to give it a theme. You have to choose the utensils, and you have to pair the cups with the gaiwan, with the water pot, with the gondang.
Yeah, it has to go together.
And so as you say, well, the tea set is very convenient for people who just want a quick way to go about it. But then for us, which are a bit deeper into it, we don't buy a t-shirt, so we buy a Guangzhou. But then later we see a Gaiwan and we're like, this Gaiwan goes very good with that Guangzhou. And then these cups will go like this, like that. And so that's where it at that.
When you think, you have gone through all the training and everything, and, if I, gave you, a cup of tea, well, this cup of tea, you do know what it is, but another cup of tea, you would know what it is. But what about for someone like me, like, okay, I know this is not green tea, for example, but that's kind of the level we'll be starting. So if I wanted to get to know more, and for example, know, like, when I'm drinking tea, like, what is a good quality tea, what is not good quality, or if I want to buy some tea to take back home, for example, like, how do I go about it? How do I know what is good and what is not? Where to start?
The saying that you use often, that the best tea is always the one that you really like. So don't be impressed by what the very snobby people will say, like, oh, this is the best tea, costs $6,000 a pound or something. Just go with your instinct first, but of course you can educate your palate, and that you can do by drinking a lot of tea with people who know more than you. That's the first thing, and listen to what they say, because then you can associate what they're saying to what you are feeling, kind of understand when they say, oh, this is, for example, this pu'er, their pu'er is always very clean.
Yeah.
And I remember we did an activity together where some of your students came here, right? And we gave them a not good pu'er, and then we gave them one of these pu'ers, and they compared and they could just feel the difference. One tastes like dust and the other one doesn't. It's very easy to
yeah, definitely. I remember trying that out, and one of them is, it feels, quite unpleasant, when you're drinking that.
It's kind of grating.
Or thinking of, sometimes those kind of tea that when you go to just a random Chinese restaurant, and the tea that you also wash your utensils with, like, maybe that's not the kind of best tea they're giving us to wash our teacups.
Obviously.
I always think that there is when we do our workshops, when we get new people into tea, and they come very humble, like very, very scared, to say the wrong thing and everything. We always advise people to, first of all, don't feel so overwhelmed by it. Also, because tea is very beautiful, there is a lot to know, but you're allowed to feel your own feelings, like what Emilie was saying. It's just we're not born trained, so it's something that grows on you. So I will advise people just to go and try as much as you can.
So thank you so much, Emilie and Jeronimo, for coming here and showing us what interesting and thing and amazing thing a Chinese tea culture can be. And I think for everyone watching this today, there's this little spark is coming, and wanting to know more. What is that tea? How can I enjoy it? And I think you have really sparked that in all of us. So thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching our this week's video, and we will see you next week with our new episode. Okay, thank you for watching. See you. Bye.